advisors need to get away from this sort of idea that ultra high net worth and ultra high net worth clients aren't subscribing to the social media platforms, and that's not where they need to be. That's completely wrong. They need to be there, and they need to be on there in a personal way, to Stacey's point.
Welcome to Advisor Talk with Frank LaRosa, brought to you by Elite Consulting Partners. It's the only podcast offering unfiltered guidance and the direct advice for all things concerning financial advisors, RIAs, and the practitioners in the wealth management business. And now, welcome to the show.
This is sort of like a twofer episode. For those of you who may not know, we have a great podcast called Advisor Talk with Frank LaRosa. Stacey Frank is the Executive Vice President of our business in sales, and she is also my co-host for Advisor Talk. And we, you can see us all the time on YouTube, but I thought it'd be really cool to have her join us today, primarily because we're going to talk about some marketing things, some conversations that we're having with clients today, large RIAs, in particular at Schwab, most recently, multi-billion-dollar firms, and their focus is on really how to build a brand and market. Branding and marketing, again, two different things, but basically build a brand and market to high net worth clients. And since it's sort of a relevant topic, I thought we would just talk a little bit about the conversation that we've had as it relates to the flow of the business and the life cycle of a client as they come through, and some of the I guess misnomers that I feel like advisors have when we talk about marketing, and especially those advisors that get clients through referrals, right? So let me just first introduce Stacey.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome
Thanks
to FASS Live.
Yeah, this is my first time here. Thanks for listening and being part of the group.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. So again, super informal. We did a call recently with a number of large RIAs that primarily custody at Schwab. In order to qualify for the call, they had to be over $2 billion in Schwab AUM. And the focus was on how to market to clients. And the biggest thing that I think those firms, because they have systems in place, they have teams, they are growing organically, but they're trying to sort of grow more inorganically or grow organically faster. And when it comes to marketing, I think there's a huge misunderstanding about why marketing is important when your business is primarily referral based, right? And what we have seen, especially nowadays, since information is more readily available online, that even if you have a good COI circle and they refer a client to you, whether it's CPA or attorney, whatever, estate planning attorney, those clients or prospects really, before they even pick up the phone and reach out to you or email you, they're going online and looking at your online presence. And one of the areas of focus was, if it's a high net worth client you're trying to attract, does your online brand resonate with that high net worth client? Does the imagery on your website, is your website of high quality, of high caliber? Is a $20 or $30 million referral going to look at your website and feel like you spent some money on that business, right?
And then also that you have interests related to those of higher net worth clients, whether it be within certain sports like golf or horseback riding or sailing or being on yachts.
Yachting, Ferraris, whatever.
Right, Ferraris, But those were the areas, the subject matter areas that came up. Like if that's something of interest to you that resonates typically with high net worth clients, or you're doing those things with those clients, that should be something that should be presented on your website and messaged well.
Yeah, it should be apparent. And I think a lot of the mistake that advisors will make is they're so afraid of being too niche-y or coming across as too niche-y and then losing those fringe clients, right? Losing the potential mass affluent client because when they look at your website, they feel like you're too high up for them, right? And so you have to make a decision, which is one of the questions I ask all the time, is what do you want to be when you grow up? Like if you want to go after ultra high net worth clients, then everything you do has to represent that. And if you truly are in that world, so if you, I'll just pick equestrian, right? I'm not into horse. I love horses, but I'm not into equestrian riding, right? But if you are in that space, then don't be bashful about putting that online. When I say online, on your website, on your LinkedIn post, talk about things related to racing or horse breeding or whatever it is,
Or
right?
events that you attended related to those.
Yeah, right. Events, the Kentucky Derby. If you do a big event at the Kentucky Derby, there's all sorts of content that can be created out of that, because high net worth clients, they want to work with people that they think, right, understand them,
I like that.
right, are like them and understand, not just like, do you understand tax strategy, but are you of like mind? Are you into equestrian? Or are you into sailing? Are you into race cars? Are you into philanthropy? Whatever. And are your other clients into those things as well? So basically, do you live and breathe that world? And that's how they'll determine whether they're going to reach out to you or not whether or not advanced tax strategy, right?
I mean, that stuff's important to still
course
put
it is.
relevant content on your website. But, what we heard back from that presentation was that clients wanted to utilize it as a networking strategy. The advisor can be seen as sort of the center of the relationship between clients getting to know other clients like them.
Right.
It was a total networking opportunity.
Yeah. What a high net worth client, what I believe, I've been doing this for 30 years. High net worth clients understand that the wealth manager, the financial advisor, or the financial planner, whatever you want to call yourself, they're not going to find that one person that knows everything, that knows the investment side, that knows the tax strategy side, that knows the estate planning side. What they're really looking for is the person that's the center of that world, right? So the person that knows the estate planning people and the tax strategy people. So your website, your online presence has to be all of that stuff. We did, we go onto these websites, you go onto somebody's website. One of the first things I do is go onto a website, and I was working with a client recently of a marketing agency, and he's a CEPA designee, and he does exit planning for all business owners. And the last article that was on his website about exit planning strategy for business owners was like 18 months ago. So if I'm a business owner and I'm looking for an advisor that specializes in exit planning strategy, and I go to his site, to me, he's like part-time business exit strategy, right? He's not in it all the time. I want to go to a person that has a white paper or an article of relevance, not maybe every day, but once a week,
right?
So I know that person is up to date on all the things that are happening within that world that pertain to me. So I just, and then here's the other thing. This is always interesting to me, right? Well, my high net worth clients don't have an Instagram account, right? Or that's not where they are. I'm not going to use foul language, but BS. It's not true, right? Because high net worth clients, typically older, they have children that are probably all over the country / all over the world.
Right.
And the easiest way for grandparents and parents to see their children is through Facebook or Instagram. And so you have to have an online presence, whether you think you do or don't. Too many advisors we come across say, well, I don't have a Facebook account. I'm not into Facebook.
Yeah, that's for my 20-year-old.
Yeah, that's my kids have Facebook. I don't. You're so wrong.
But gone are the days where it's just Facebook. And,
right.
Guilty as charged, that was the only medium I was using for a period of time. But since, we started doing more of these podcasts and focus on marketing, especially for high net worth clients, access to Instagram and LinkedIn and Facebook.
And TikTok.
Right.
TikTok.
I love TikTok, of course.
But TikTok is not what it used to be. It's not like jumping around doing some stupid dance with a tutu on, right? TikTok is becoming one of the main places where people go for education, because it's all about education now on those things. So you can learn all sorts of things. There's doctors on there. There's lawyers on there. There's every industry on there that are subject matter experts giving away content, and which is what advisors need to be doing. You need to be online across all mediums, giving away content for free. If you have a tax strategy that you know works for clients, I'm going to solve disclaimer this, right? Saying as much as you can without violating any regulatory, issues with, giving away tax advice. And you have to have all your disclaimers in there. And as our marketing agency, we work with our clients to make sure that they're not violating any compliance policies, right? But educating. That's how you're going to attract ultra high net worth clients, by being the person that becomes a resource to them online, because that's the stuff that they're looking at when they're traveling, when they're on a boat, when they're going someplace, they're scrolling, they're learning. High net worth clients are hungry for education, and they're going to go to the platforms and the people that they perceive as intelligent and industry experts and are basically a likable. So they're giving away content, but they're also likable, which is where video comes in, right? When you're doing those things, the client's deciding whether or not they like you or don't like you. Do I want to call this person? Do I want to work with that person? Do I want to entrust my family's wealth to that individual? So you have to be very careful with what you're posting. You have to, make sure that it's done the right way. It's professional.
Yeah. So I was just going to say that one of the other things that came out of this this event that we hosted for, attracting high net worth clients is about the financial advisor really wanting to be seen as more of that family office resource. So maybe touch on, what are some ways that a financial advisor can put that out there through social media in a certain way so that they become the, primary resource, mentor, center of the universe for those clients.
Yeah, I think
that's what we're looking for.
Right, exactly. Like podcast is a great one. Again, get used to doing video because that's the new preferred, sort of means to communicate. It also has the best algorithms when you post on LinkedIn and everything. Video is really important, making sure you have video on your website. But it's bringing on guests onto your show, bringing on estate planning attorneys, bringing on trust officers, bringing on investment managers, bringing on attorneys, bring any person that CPAs, right? Anybody that you feel at some point one of your clients is going to come across and need those services. And what you're showing your clients is you are the person in the know, right? And again, you're not the expert, but you know enough to go bring in the experts, because the experts you bring in are really good.
Right, just a more holistic presentation of what your value proposition is as an advisor to those specific high net worth clients.
Right. And so it's just really important for you to be thinking that way, because too many advisors don't understand how important your branding and and social media is to attracting ultra high net worth clients. The other component, this is sort of a free advice here. We do something, or we advise our clients to do something called video sales letters, so VSLs. And what we're engaging them in is when a client makes a video sales letter, think of it as an email, but instead of having a long email, it's a very short 1 or 2 lines, and then an embedded video of you as a financial advisor that goes out to you can use it for clients. But in this case, it's like a prospect. I was using an example of a client coming in. So you have a prospect that's coming in, and they're coming in to do some advanced estate planning, and they're a new client or a prospect, right? Doesn't really matter. And you use these VSLs as a way. It goes out. You can pick the time: a week, 3 days, 2 days. Doesn't matter. Whether it's 5 days, you give it a 5-day confirmation of the appointment. But in the video, you're introducing yourself, and you're introducing your team, and potentially your philosophy and your process. And then you're letting them know, like, hey, our team looks forward to having you come in. We're excited to understand who you are, your family dynamics, and what are the things that you're trying to get accomplished, long-term for your family. When you come in, you're going to meet with myself, you're going to meet with our estate planning attorney, you're going to meet with this person. You're setting up the meeting. It's less than 4 minutes. And then you're saying to them, in preparation to make sure that your meeting is an excellent use of your time, please make sure you bring these 4 documents. I'm just making up 4. It could be whatever documents you want them to bring, right? And also start to think about what you want your legacy to be, because we're going to be talking in depth about ultimately what we're trying to get you to and what your legacy, what you've always dreamed of your legacy to be. You're starting to get them to think about that. The reason why you do that is because it would be hard to articulate what that means in an email. So a video gets across really well. You can do it in a very professional way. And then it's one more opportunity for that prospect to meet you and hear you. So now when they come into the office, you've already gotten over a little bit of a hurdle. They're more comfortable with you now because now they've heard you again. And so you can have a much more meaningful conversation with them, which ultimately what you're trying to get accomplished, as opposed to them coming in and it taking 30 or 40 minutes for them to get comfortable with who you are, and then they finally open up. Right?
I think what we're finding is that clients, especially those who have busy lives, and I think it's most clients, are more likely to listen to a quick video than read 3 pages of an email or content or research paper.
Right. Yeah. I mean, look, we do an analysis of the VSLs that we send out, that our clients send out, and videos that are less than 4 minutes long are watched. They watch typically 98% of those videos. So anywhere between 80 and 98% of the video. So they're watching the video. And you can do it anywhere, right? It's very easy to do. We create series of videos, so there can be follow-ups. They're all educational. They're all educational in nature. The follow-up videos tend to be 90 seconds or less. And again, pure education. The goal there is to be the educational person for that prospect. And over time, they will eventually pick up the phone, email you and say, hey, I've loved your stuff. I appreciate all the information. We're ready to do something. So I think we'll stop there. That's a lot of information. But it's really important that the biggest takeaway from this thing, Lauren, is that advisors need to get away from this sort of idea that ultra high net worth and ultra high net worth clients aren't subscribing to the social media platforms, and that's not where they need to be. That's completely wrong. They need to be there, and they need to be on there in a personal way, to Stacey's point. Be on there in a personal way. So yes, free content, education, financial service stuff and estate planning, all that other stuff, but you have to throw in there the personal stuff. That's the connection. That's the hook, right?
And to be more expansive across whether it is emails and other written content, but the social media content, in addition to the written content, that allows you to reach a wider audience.
Yeah, pulls it all together. With that was like 16 minutes, right on the button almost. But we try to give some fire advice. Listen, I know it's a lot of information. We have a marketing agency that we only work with financial advisors, as everybody might know. We only work with financial advisors. We help them with all their branding. We help them with all their content, all of these things that we're talking about, all strategy. It's really, really important because this is where the puck is going. This is where the puck is going to bring on high net worth clients. And really candidly, since COVID, there's no longer like you're only bringing clients in your local market, right? The local market is now expanded to the entire country because with social media and Zoom, you can work with clients everywhere, and clients have moved all over the place, especially high net worth clients. They're all over the place. So you have to use these mediums. Otherwise, you're going to get left behind.
Thanks for listening to Advisor Talk with Frank LaRosa. If you're looking for more advice or solutions on any topics relating to the financial services industry, or just want to subscribe to our podcast, head on over to eliteconsultingpartners.com/podcast.